people should not be limited in one is civic office. Now it is also trying to think about economic participation, how we engage young people in the economic participation, and we cannot separate this political movement and economic movement for sustainable democracy, because once we talk about rights and responsibilities, it also brings certain obligation in terms of economics. So isn't it the right time to imagine ourselves and to make our voice clear that young people should be engaged in economic aspect as well? And it might be talking about unemployment things or other things, so young entrepreneurship. So our development objective now has a clear two pillars of civic engagement in terms of economic engagement and civic and political rights. So that is how we have set our development objective. And before 2013, I explained later on, we are more focused on civic and political rights movement and human rights movement. But now after 2013, we have taken a shift in terms of our development objective. That is, we want economic engagement in terms of entrepreneurs, in terms of different activities in the local level, in terms of rural micro enterprises and things where young people should be leading the forum. So that back up the sustainable democracy. This is what we have been talking right now, and so I added in the presentation as well. Now, this is the overall picture of what Youth Institute does. Now, what sort of organization is Youth Institute? Youth Institute is a member-based organization. The very simple fact is, when I started my career in development sector back 8 years, I was simply a volunteer Youth Institute. And then I was interested in this organization. I then started joined as a member, and then I came in the board, and then general secretary, and now the president. So why we call it a very democratic institution? Why we call ourselves the role model for democratization is because we are practicing democracy. We are not simply advocating democracy. In Nepal, many people create next trainer. A trainer creates next trainer, but a trainer never creates practitioner. What we are lacking in this country is practitioner. If I'm a trainer, I can create another trainer for voter education, but I have hardly produced practitioner who really practice voter education or who really practice democratization. So Youth Institute is the organization who is not only advocating for democratization process and the lead president of the organization simply because we practice democracy. So this is why we call it member-based, very open and democratic organization. The simple reason is any individual of this nation within the boundary of our Nepalese citizenship, they can apply for the membership. It is very open and there is no limitation, provided he or she belongs to the age group of 16 to 29. So within that framework, they can apply, and right now we have 280 members, because the thing is, wireless, every time we are a student, we are the people who are dreaming something big, comes in and then again flies away. So the sustained membership is around 280 right for us. Leadership transformation, I have already told, every 2 years our leadership is transferred. So I came into August 2002, so I know by August 2014 I am going to give the post for the next person. And see, when I came in, I was clear enough that by August 2014 there will be the next person to lead this organization. So every 2 years we transfer the leadership of the organization. However, the human resources will continue. And AGM is responsible for all these things. Annual general meeting is the institution or the body that regulates everything. Why organogram? How it is doing the work right now is like we have the General Assembly at the top. Every year we have the General Assembly. Then we have the SP committee that is elected by General Assembly. Side by side we have two board of trustee, where past president and general secretary board members are the members, and they put in feedbacks for the organization is for the need of time. We have the board of advisors, who are some of the experts who have been working in the development sector and who have the brilliant ideas in terms of feedback in the organization. We have a team of advisors. So these are the two teams who give us the recommendations, help us to move forward. And then we have a steering committee, that is the vital post committee of HQ committee, because every member may not be present. And then management committee, that is the team of staffs led by HQ director. And then we have three departments, NN department, program department, and finance department on the central level. Below that is strategy, location, and regional project offices in the regional level, and below that is the district offices. So this is the channel we are working, and we have a grassroots level presence as well up to the village development committee level. Our target youth, so we have defined young people in three perspective areas. One is those who are engaged in politics, that is we call partisan young people. The next is those who are simply academic students or university graduates but are not directly linked to politics. They are called non-partisan. And there are one group of young people who have already started something doing in business in terms of Santosh Acharya and other things. So they are called professional young people. So there are three pillars in the context of Nepal. One is political young people, partisan young people, non-partisan young people, professional young people. And the irony is like they think themselves they are best people in their society, in their sector. what Youth Insight is doing is we are trying to connect them. How we can connect and make a bigger picture, pushing the agendas in a speedy way. So our strategy direction, we design our strategy direction every 5 years. We have recently completed the strategy direction 2009 and 13. We have already developed the strategy direction for 2014 to 18. And here are the list of things that we did in 2009 to 13. In 2009 to 13, our major theme was youth in civic leadership, human rights and democratization. Next is youth in governance, and the next is youth in conflict. Our cross-cutting theme, gender equality and social inclusion, peace building and conflict transformation. But for 2014 to 18, we have added some of themes, because why still democratization? Because Nepal has again gone back to 5 years. Because CA has also started, and we need to forget the first CA. So this is the reason why we still think those three things are still relevant in the context of Nepalese society. And we have added two things, because you think peace building, because cross-cutting thing, but we think it is very important, because once the violence has stopped, but still there are so many conflict triggered factors that is still existing in the Nepalese society, and at some point we have to engage young people as peace ambassadors to minimize those triggers of conflict. And the next is, as I have already mentioned, youth and entrepreneurship. Now young people want to engage themselves, and it is a time to define what is important, either in terms of information only, or young people are able to sustain themselves in terms of economic values as well. So entrepreneurship is the next pillar that you can say has started.